Chasing bream, whiting, flathead and bass with really light gear makes for a whole lot more enjoyment. You feel more bites and you just can present a much more stealthy presentation to the fish, and that's above and below the surface. With all the lure reviews that I've done and the filming that I've done over the years, watching lures and filming them underwater, using heavier lines can often even outwhir a rattle. The line as it wobbles, especially with a diving lure, can take away from that sound that you get with a rattle and a really quiet approach. And then above the surface, having lighter line allows you to cast much further, so you can be a lot further away from your target and just approach with a lot more stealth that way as well, so you're not spooking fish. The gear that I love to use for bream especially is just straight through fluorocarbon 4-pound. If I'm fishing around these really clear waters in the canals, it definitely makes a difference. On a little 1000 size reel and a 1 to 3 kilo long rod, this is like a 7'6" stick, so that I can cast long distances and then also get angles as I'm fishing around pontoons and things like that. But this will also work for my whiting fishing as well, and I'll use braid if I'm chasing whiting on with surface lures, and then a mono leader of around 1.5 meters, and usually around like a 6 to 9 pound mono leader. But for flathead and bass, I tend to use fairly similar gear for both, and 6 to 10 pound is more than sufficient, and you'll even be able to get the big girls in with that. You might go heavier if you're fishing around some heavy structure for bass, but generally a 2 to 4, 2 to 5 kilo rod and a 1000 or 2000 size spinning outfit, and then I'll use a fluorocarbon leader of about 8 to 12 pound. So there's some of the gear that I like to use. It definitely helps to fish light, and it's nice to be able to have the crossover between flathead and bass, because on the Gold Coast there's some fantastic bass fisheries. So before we head up into the backwaters and past some of these bridges where the colour changes occur and you get into some really interesting, nerve-wracking experiences with the fish that are up there, I want to show you what's on offer for a bass experience on the Gold Coast. Yes! Beautiful big bass. Just grab this finesse frog. You can see I'm working along the edge here. They're just unstoppable, these things. He's only lightly pinned, so I might drop him, but just working it along the edge here around these lily pads, and there's about 6 feet of water, and then there's a whole big bed of weed. And the sun's on it, it's been on it for a couple of hours, but they're still just so aggressively hitting this little frog. The little plastic legs on these things just work brilliantly. I might try and net this up actually, because he's only just lightly pinned in the fleshy part of his lip. He's a beautiful fish. He's legal. He's probably up around that 37, I'd say. There's a lot bigger that get into these systems, and they've been stocked over years and years by stocking associations. Let me give you a look at him. They get a lot bigger in here, but they still put up a great fight. Anything around that 30 or 35, and then bigger. Yep. Oh, from deep in there. God, that's a lot of fun, and it doesn't matter how big they are. Chasing these bass around the Robina Lakes, I just get such a kick out of it. Oh, he's still there, still there. Come on, hit it, actually take it. I'm on. Yes! Oh, that's the beauty of these lures. You can get them right in under the cover and get on a great fish like this big bass. Beautiful stuff. Yep. Oh, from deep in there. Yep. Good fish. It's a big fish. Oh, bro, that is massive, eh? That is not a bass. Just saw the boil on that, and then giant. Oh, I can feel it running through stuff. And they're great in the dams, but the clear island waters, they're just as effective. They just run with a little worm hook on them, and even fish like this give a good account of themselves. Well, there's something very, very satisfying about throwing these little weedless plastics across the tops of lily pads out here in Robina Lakes. But if the urban bass experience doesn't quite give you the disconnect that you're after, and you want to be out drifting around in complete stillness and soaking up in all of the natural wonder and that how's the serenity feeling, Hinds Dam will completely set your mind at ease. There's a getaway. It's only about 10 minutes that way. Take a sneak peek. Yes! Oh, yep. Big tail slap. Oh, so cool. Oh, he's a big fat fella. You can see that lure there. There's some cracking fish in here. Taking on one of these soft shell cicadas. Yes, I'm on. Oh, it's a Saratoga. You little beauty. Yeah. I just teabagged it off this spider web actually. And he swirled at it. I couldn't believe it took it because I was teabagging it, mate. Oh, he's a beauty too. What a cracker. Jeez, we've only been on the water 5 minutes. Wow. Come up here. He's just taken like a Kitech spinnerbait with a little stinger on the back. Oh, what a beautiful fish. Come here, big fella. Wow. Well, I'm doing a pretty bad job on the net. They are pretty hard to net, these cheeky buggers. Wow, what a beauty. I've got him in the wrong way in this little net. He might jump out. Sick. Well, we might get some photos and then we'll release it again. You can see there's the spinnerbait, the Kitech little spinnerbait. Have you seen a Sarah before? Yes! Oh, it's good fish too. Oh, just belted it. He's still on. He's still on. I still got him. Just ran so hard into the snag. Oh, he's running. Yeah, I got him out. Of that one anyway. Come on, big fella. Get out of there. Oh, he's down deep. Oh. Don't know what I'm going to do to get this one out, eh? I'll try and pull him back the way. Yeah, that's her. That's it. Done it. Come here. It's a beautiful big bass. And here you go. Take a look at this. Bang. You beauty. Oh,
God, they go so hard. So much fun. I'll just see if I can get him out of here without too much trouble. I'll give you a good look at him. Oh, big fella. I'll get a handle on him. Oh, he's a chunk of a fish. There you go. Take a look at that on one of those little spinner baits, just like a 1/4 ounce. He'd be up around the 42, 43 centimetres. Ah, the moment it hit the water, just belted it. I'm just fishing a section that's been raining, and I've found a little bit of dirty water where there'll be a fair bit of oxygen and food coming down, and it's worked a treat. A lot of fun out here at Hinsdam. Yep. Oh, right there, right under my face. Yep.